My question's for Kevin. Well, technically it's two, but all right. First one: what did you imagine doing with your life before you got into the media? I mean, you're pretty knowledgeable in science and whatnot, and I imagine that I think I'll go work for Fox or Sci-Fi.
Well, when I was in high school, I wanted to be Richard Hatch. Who didn't want to be Apollo? Actually, I say that half-kiddingly. Who didn't want to be Apollo or Starbuck? If I was in high school, sorry. Or in Galactica first there, but no, I actually, I wanted to be in the space program ever since I was young. So my first memories are from the Apollo and Gemini launches, and I remember the original first run Star Trek, not being myself. But I just saw myself going to the space program ever since I was a kid. So I went to college and took up space, and. But during Voyager, in its first couple of years, Star Trek was one of the few shows that took unsolicited manuscripts. I mean, you could actually submit a script and they said, it'll get read. We get 3,000 a year. We can guarantee you a good outcome, but it'll get read. And actually, our script my buddy and I wrote got us into the pitch. And once I was in there and I started pitching stories, I said, this is something that I want to do. So I tried to get involved in this stuff, and it turned out that one of the staff writers from Voyager, I don't even know who Brian Fuller is, created Red Dead Like Me. He actually got me the job with Ron. He got me at least the interview. And so once I got into Star Trek, I said, this is stuff I really want to do. And just answer your question, sort of. And then actually I met Richard at WesterCon, and I convinced him that he needed a science advisor, and started getting invites to his meetings for the Second Coming trailer, and he stuck me in a Cylon costume. Anyway, so yeah, when I submitted a script and started getting pitch invitations to Voyager, I realized that this is something I really want to do as part of my life from this point forward. Does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, that's good. One more quick thing. Have you guys invented a practical reason for all the paper in BattleStar Galactica being octagons?
Ron has said there's a reason for that, and they're going to explain it. And whatever that reason is, I don't know what it is. Maybe Caprica will bring that out. But I have no idea why the corners are cut. But you go out and set, and every bit of paper has corners cut. NFIs, no fracking idea.
Just a theory, maybe it's a conservation thing that the corners are cut off, since we don't use the corners of most of the paper that we use. So this way it's not like they have an infinite supply of trees to cut down, especially even before they were absolutely planned. So just throwing that out there. No, but my question is for the three of you actually. When you get a script, is there anybody that you really, really look forward to working with, either because you know that something awesome is going to happen between your characters, or because you like them personally?
Well, for me personally, this season I've had a lot more opportunity to work with Eddie and Mary, and that's just been amazing, man. That's what I've been waiting for the whole time. Not that I don't enjoy working with Grace Bark, she's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough sometimes. I gotta kiss her, do stuff like that, but I get it done because I'm a professional. But yeah, it's been a pleasure working with Eddie and Mary. Every time I think I told the story the other day. I'll tell it again because I don't know if some of you were there, but I've sort of been in awe of Eddie and Mary since the jump. Especially Eddie, like, man, when I was a little kid, I still remember Blade Runner more than anything. It's to this day, yeah, one of my favorite films. And like Eddie had a cameo in there. Like, he had such a small part, but he stuck out. Like, he's one of those characters. Like, what about that guy? He's just, he's incredible. So I've been a fan of his ever since. And this one scene I had with Eddie, I was so nervous and excited to be in the scene with him that I kind of forgot that I was in the scene with him. And I was more you know, just an audience member. And so we were doing the scene, and he was saying his lines to someone else. There was like 4 of us in the scene, and I was just sort of like. And then I realized no one was saying anything, and I was like, you know, kind of looked at the other actor like, you know, it's your cue. And then I realized it was my one line, because there's only one line. And I'm like, line, please. Line, please. But yeah, because Eddie just like, I mean, you know, like, even his delivery, like half the time it looks, and this is the funny thing about Eddie, like half the time on set, it looks like he can't remember his lines. They're barely even coming out. But we see the finished product, man, it's heavy. He's one of those actors who does it. And of course, Mary, the same thing, man, just incredible. I'm constantly learning when I'm around them. And at the same time, both of them are just, I aspire to be like them in their careers. Their energy from beginning to day to end, even if we work 15 hours, is always the same. Always the same. They're there to get it done. They're never in a bad mood. Even if they are, if they've got stuff going on, they leave that at home. They're professionals on set.
What was the question? Really? I'm sorry. No, I was so into what you were saying, and I really forgot how it pertains to me. I just asked that when you get a script, is there anybody that you really look forward to working with, either because you know that something's going to happen between your characters that's going to be really interesting, or because you like the person?
Okay. My character, I'm so lucky to work with Michael Hogan. I am so lucky to work with him. He's phenomenal, and I never know when he's gonna light me on fire, like tear my head off, or blast me into 1,000 pieces, or giggle. You know, it's like he's like a, you know, dancing Mercury. He just blah, 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 blah. And then when he hits, and it's really powerful, and I love that. To be in that presence as an actor is awesome. I've worked with Eddie. I love working with Eddie because he's so subtle, and again, I wondered, you know, God, does he know his lines? He's Eddie Almost. I mean, God, can he learn his lines? You know, but of course he knows them. He knows them. It's just his way of discovering the moment, and that's really beautiful. I would love to get out of, you know, Ty's quarters more often, get more involved in the crew. I mean the cast. I'd love to get more involved in the cast. It's such an awesome cast. Everybody is so... Everybody's so yummy. As a woman actress, as a woman, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by such amazing men. I mean, the women are great. The women are great, but forget. You know, the men are incredible. They're incredibly warm. They're warm guys. They're warm people on the set. You know, they're really good people, and it's true what everyone says here about the cast.
Charming.
Tall, younger than me. Some of you. But that it all.
Embrace the horror.
It's all good. It's all good. But at the dinner table scene. That was my debut, and that's when I was very lucky because I got to work with Eddie, I got to work with Jamie, I got to work with Michael and Mary, and I had no idea who these people were because this was my first scene, this was my first day on the set. And I had my foot in Apollo's crotch, my hand on my husband's thigh, and my eyes were boring into Eddie Olmos. So I was very content. Happy camper.